Hey guys, welcome back to the September 2016 MHC. My stuff's not growing too well right now, but probably because it went through the night with no light. So let's light it up a little bit more over here. That's probably good enough. And I guess I should go back underground. Or actually, now that I have the stuff to make a fishing rod, maybe I should do some fishing. That might be good. Let's grab that first. There's nothing over here, is there? No, okay. Is there any more to put in there? Nope. All right. So I have a bow now. That's nice. I have 2 string, just enough. Oops, what am I doing? Just enough to make one of these. All right. So I have a fishing rod. Wonderful. Okay. I guess I can eat that food right there and move some stuff around, and that should be good enough, maybe. All right, let's do some fishing, and I'll talk. I'm gonna do a lot of talking this month, which I guess is making up for the lack of talking last month, because I noticed when I was watching my videos that I didn't really talk a lot because John was on and we were talking together, and then I was very, very silent. So yeah, that happens a lot when I'm in like a group setting, I guess. I get really, really quiet. Anyway, so we'll go ahead and do some fishing, and today I am going to talk about what am I going to talk about? I'm going to talk about musicals that I liked when I was little. Like there are 2 musicals that I can think of off the top of my head that I have very fond memories of from my childhood. And those are The Wizard of Oz and Peter Pan. So first I'll talk about The Wizard of Oz because that was probably my favorite movie, a non-Disney movie. That was probably my favorite non-Disney movie, yes, when I was little. That's what I'm trying to say. I loved The Wizard of Oz. I had it on video, and I think that I missed a fish. Anyway, I had it on video cassette, and I watched it so much. I had certain movies that I watched over and over and over again. The Wizard of Oz was one. I watched Sleeping Beauty a lot. I watched Alice in Wonderland a lot, I think. And I'm sure there's some more stuff in there that I can't think of. But non-Disney musical kind of thing, Wizard of Oz was my jam. I absolutely loved it. And I had the biggest crush on the Cowardly Lion. I loved the Cowardly Lion. I mean, I liked the Tin Man too. And I wasn't very fond of the Scarecrow. So it always bothered me at the very end of the movie when she tells the Scarecrow, "I think I'll miss you most of all." Because I'm like, I won't. I'll miss the other 2 more. But I don't know. That's just me. But yeah, I loved that movie. Watched it so many times. And I'm not even going to go into what it's about because I'm sure everyone knows what it's about. But Judy Garland was so good in that movie. And the funny thing is, she was not the first choice. Shirley Temple. They wanted to get Shirley Temple to play Dorothy. And don't get me wrong, I love Shirley Temple, but Judy Garland was the perfect Dorothy. And I dressed as Dorothy at least once when I was little. I think only once. But yeah, I had the dress, and I had the braids, and I had the ruby slippers, and I had a basket with a stuffed dog in it, and that was Toto, and that's how I went trick-or-treating one year. And I wish I had a photo because I would show it to you, but I don't, as far as I know. I don't know, maybe I can find one somewhere. But yeah, I loved Dorothy. Dorothy was goals, basically. And I don't know. I just loved that movie so much. I can't even explain how much I loved it. It's so good. And the color, there's, oh my gosh, when she just walks out of the house and everything was black and white before, or sepia actually, and she walks out and there's just color everywhere. And oh my gosh, the Wicked Witch is perfect. Such a good villain. And never really liked Glinda. I know a lot of people liked Glinda, but she was never my favorite either, which is funny because most people, you know, they like Glinda and they like the Scarecrow, and whatever. I always loved, there's this one part in the movie where they go to the Emerald City and they knock on the door, and you know, it has the little bell out of order, please knock. And well, they ring the bell first, and the guy says, who rang that bell? And then he says, can't you read the notice? What notice? And then he shows him the notice, and it says, you know, bell out of order, please knock. So he closes it, and they knock, and he opens it again, and then he asks for them to state their business and all of this stuff. And then finally she says, you know, Glinda sent me, and these are the slippers that she gave me to show that she sent me. And he says, well, bust my buttons. And I thought that was the funniest thing when I was little. I don't know why, but I used to say that all the time. I probably drove my mother crazy because I would always just throw out a, well, bust my buttons. I don't know. I was like 5. Who can blame me? Oh my gosh. So yeah, I loved that movie. It was so good. And then, you know, the Cowardly Lion with his little, if I were the king of the forest. Oh my god. It was beautiful. Bert Lahr, oh my god. Amazing. He was the best lion. Oh my gosh. I just can't. Oh, thinking about it, I just love it. I just love it. Okay, so, I'll move on because the sun is going to be setting soon, and I haven't even talked about Peter Pan. So the Peter Pan version that I am thinking of, not the Disney version. The Disney version was okay. I don't really like it that much, but there are lots of Disney movies I like more than Peter Pan, definitely. I'm talking about the version with Mary Martin as Peter Pan. And I can't remember exactly the date that it was filmed, but it was filmed for television, and I'm guessing it was on NBC because NBC is usually the one who does this, the station who does this. And it was probably in the 60s, if I had to guess, 60s or 70s when they filmed it. And Mary Martin is Peter Pan, and Mary Martin will always be Peter Pan to me. I can never see anyone else as Peter Pan. I did watch it when, like a couple of years ago, when they did Peter Pan, and it was, oh gosh, what is her name? What is her name? The girl from Girls, and I can't think of what her name is, but I want to say it's Ashley Williams, but maybe it's not Ashley. It's something Williams. And Christopher Walken as Captain Hook, which is just weird. And he was, I'm gonna say it, he was terrible as Captain Hook. Oh my god, it was the worst. It was so bad. Anyway, no, she's not Peter Pan. Mary Martin will always be Peter Pan to me. So, that is the version that I grew up with. That is the version that I love. And it was one of these things that it had been recorded for TV before, and then they took that recording, and this was like in the late 80s, like 88, 89, something like that. And they played it on TV again. And it was a big deal. And, ooh, I have stuff. And, come on. I was not home when it came on TV. My mother had a PTO meeting at the school, and I had to go with her. So, I didn't get to watch it when it came on TV the first time. When it came on TV, I had to wait and watch it later because my mother recorded it from the TV. And I still have that VHS tape somewhere at my mom's house, and it is lovely. It has old commercials, so there's like old Miracle Whip commercials and Campbell's soup and all of these different things, and it makes me laugh so much because it has these old commercials that I absolutely love. I've watched it so many times, and it just makes me laugh mainly because of the commercials, because you don't see those anymore, and we weren't home, so we couldn't just like cut them out or anything. So yeah, we'll always have those commercials in there. But I had a crush on Captain Hook. I'm gonna say it. That's just all there is to it. I can't remember the name of the guy who played him. It was Cyril Richards, I think. Is that what his name is? Something like that. Anyway, yeah. I thought he was a very handsome man. So I had a big crush on him. I had crushes on everyone, apparently, when I was little. Cowardly Lion, Captain Hook, you name it, I had a crush on it. So anyway, yeah, I really liked Captain Hook. And I don't get it. I don't get it, but I did. And I loved the scene toward the beginning where Peter Pan is looking. He's not looking for his shadow. He's already found his shadow because Wendy has helped him sew his shadow back on. And he starts playing with his shadow, basically. And he does like a little hand puppet kind of thing. And I always loved that part for some reason. I don't know why, but that was always one of my favorite parts. And it's not even that funny, but I used to think it was hilarious. Oh my gosh. Yeah, let's not go that way. Where am I gonna go? I need to get down really, really far underground, so we'll just go back this way, I guess. Anyway, so, yeah, I liked that version of Peter Pan. So, those were the musicals that I loved as a kid. Other than Disney. Because, of course, I loved Disney, because I was a Disney girl. What else? I was not introduced to Shirley Temple movies until I was probably a lot older than I should have been watching Shirley Temple movies, but I loved Shirley Temple movies. They came out with like a big collection of them, and I had every movie in the collection. I really liked Shirley Temple. I don't know, there was just something about those movies. They were very clean and family friendly, and she was adorable. She just was. There's nothing, more you can say about that. And I really got into Shirley Temple movies. And my favorite one was Poor Little Rich Girl. And I haven't seen it in so long, and I really would like to see it again because it was my favorite. And it actually had the guy who played the Tin Man in The Wizard of Oz. He was in it. And yeah, I had a big crush on him, so he was so cute. And yeah, I liked those movies. And it's funny that, she was supposed to be Dorothy. Do I hear a slime? I think I hear a slime. That's interesting. But since they couldn't get her to, I guess 20th Century Fox didn't want to loan her to MGM to do, to play Dorothy. So instead, they gave her a movie called The Bluebird. And it's about the Bluebird of Happiness. And it is probably my least favorite Shirley Temple movie. I think it is completely terrible. It's based on a book, I think, but I had never heard of the book before. And the character she plays is very different than other characters that she played before, because she was usually like the really sweet little girl. And this character, she was very selfish, and it just wasn't like her, and it was weird. I didn't like it, and that is still to this day probably my least favorite Shirley Temple movie. Yep. I think it's almost daylight. It may be daylight. Darn it, I need to get below ground. And I really need to stop talking so much and get stuff done. But I really want to get my diamond out of the way first. Okay, well, I guess I'll go back up. Gosh. Or maybe I should just stay down. I don't have to go back up. It's gonna be close enough. I've probably got like a minute left. So we'll just dig around a little bit for this last little minute, and I'm only at 17. I need a little bit lower than this. I didn't make a shovel. Darn it. Well, that's fine. So, do you guys have any special musicals or movies? Any movies that you really particularly liked when you were little? Or, and that I said particularly really, really weird right then. And if so, you know, if you can think of any, let me know what they are, because they might be things that I really liked too. Yeah, this is actually, I like being on 12, but I'll stick with with 11. All right, so I'm gonna continue down here mining, and next time I'll talk about some more musicals. Yay! Yeah, not sure what they're gonna be next time, but I'll think of something, I'm sure. So, I guess that's it for today, and I will see you guys next time. Till then, bye!